Your attention, please. And now, on with the show.
Coming to you from quarantined New York, it's Unger the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing the new crime thriller, A Clear Shot, and Season 1 of the new Netflix series, Space Force, with special guest critics Matt Roren and Forrest Bennett. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another edition of Unger the Radar, where we talk all things film. And with me today, we have two great film critics, fellow friends of the show. We've got Matt Roren, hello.
Hello.
And Mr. Forrest Bennett. It's been a while, Forrest.
I know, Matt. Thank you for having me on. It's also my 10th episode.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, this calls for a celebration. I mean, I don't have champagne.
Club.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My 10th. I don't know where I am.
I know. They're all blurring together, Matt. There's so many. But you guys are veterans of the show. You know the deal. And, you know, I love having you guys on. You're just great. So, all right. So let's just get into our pandemic picks for the week. So I know, Matt, you've been going through very furiously all of the classic Disney titles from, the 60s right now?
Yeah, right now I'm in smack dab in the middle. Well, I'm actually ending off 1963. I'm currently in the middle of Sword in the Stone. Classic. Came out on Christmas of 1963. So I'm about to start 1964. So I watched that, and I just finished Incredible Journey. Just a bunch of weird ones. The early 60s have a lot of weird horse movies.
Wait a minute,
I watched
Incredible Journey
movies about horses.
Is Incredible Journey the original?
Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't even know they made a one in the 60s. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it. Because I guess Homeward Bound is Incredible Journey 2.
Or actually, it's weird.
Homeward Bound 2 is called Incredible Journey.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the original was Incredible Journey, which was based on a book.
Yeah,
and then they remade it as Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey, and then that remake got a sequel in San Francisco.
In San Francisco, right?
Yes.
And apparently, the cat in that darn cat is the cat from Incredible Journey.
Oh,
I don't know if it's the same actor cat, but the character is supposed to be the same.
Oh, really?
Wait,
I'm just kind of curious.
64, so I'll see that soon.
I'm curious because I have only seen Homeward Bound. Are the animals' names still the same as like in the original? Are the names of the dogs and the cat the same as Homeward Bound?
It's Chance, Sassy,
and Shadow.
In this, it's Tao is the cat. Dodger is one of the dogs. I can't remember the other dog's name, and I just watched it. Literally 15 minutes ago, I watched this movie. I forgot the third dog's name already.
And Matt, are you watching this with your kids, or are you kind of like trading off?
I'm doing it whenever. I've watched a few with my kids. Like May watched Swiss Family Robinson with me. They watch. I mean, they've been watching it with me over when they're here, but I'm not waiting for them or anything. I'm just going through.
What do they have? Do they have any strong impressions? What are their impressions of these older movies?
They really actually May really liked Swiss Family Robinson, and they all like The Parent Trap. We watched that one together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, they're just like so many of them are like Revolutionary War or Civil War movies that
Like Johnny Tremaine.
my kids are just like why are these Disney movies all about war? I'm like, well, it's like that was the cool thing at the time. Like, we're about to get into World War II. Like, 67 is when like they were actually about 65 they start making all their movies about World War II. Like,
yeah, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
You like the movie you always forget there's Nazis in. You're like, oh right, there's Nazis in this.
Gosh.
Actually, one of them I just watched was a World War II movie actually. God, some of them just blur together because they're just like literally like I own a horse. This is my adventure with this horse. So, yeah, there's a lot of like, and all those weird ones I've been renting on like Amazon or Google Movies for like $2.99 because they're not on Disney Plus.
Do they use the same directors pretty
Yeah.
much?
Most of the movies are direct. It'll be like the same director will do like 2 or 3 movies in a row.
Right.
And then they'll all star either Haley Mills or Bobby Driscoll.
Yeah, and was it?
Have you watched anything with Kurt Russell yet?
Not yet. I haven't gotten to Kurt Russell yet. I think he's
That's the 70s, right?
65. Yeah, like computer wore tennis shoes. Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. But I'm excited. I'm excited for those.
Yeah. I would like to see how Kurt Russell started. I think the earliest would be Escape from New York. To be honest,
here. Although knowing his history as a Disney star, I tend to explain to younger people that that he was kind of like the Zac Efron of his time.
Yeah. That's a good comparison. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Forrest, so it's been a while. What have you been watching or binging on?
Oh God, I've been going on all sorts of different marathons and binges. Usually when I'm working, I binge watch all the CW DC shows like Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. I'll be starting Black Lightning soon. I've gone two Friday the 13th. During this pandemic, I've gone on 3 Friday the 13th marathons.
Oh, so what do you mean, like in installments or different?
Well, okay, so I did so a few weeks ago, Shudder was Shudder was showing the first 8 movies, all the Paramount movies, live. So I watched I just went and watched the first 7 movies.
Marathon style? Was it like a marathon?
Yeah, like I say, it was a marathon. Shudder was having a live marathon of this Friday the 13th, of the first 8 Friday the 13th movies, and then last month on May 9th was the 40th anniversary of the original. Mm-hmm. So I went and watched the first 4. First 4 movies. I've also been doing marathons for various actors, directors, franchises. Like if I could go on any streaming service and find for example, I found multiple Arnold Schwarzenegger movies available on, I think it was HBO, HBO and
Extreme.
Yeah, like on HBO and Stars. Plus
I was actually watching T2 earlier today on, I think it was HBO Extreme or one of them. They're all one of them, yeah. But yeah, great.
And then also, I've also been watching Last Driving with Joe Bob Briggs, whatever movies they're showing. So I've been watching Tetsuo the Iron Man, Blood-Sucking Freaks.
Cannibal Holocaust last week.
Yeah, I actually skipped Cannibal Holocaust. There was what was another one? Street Trash.
Okay, cool.
And
I've actually been doing since before the pandemic. I've actually been doing a marathon with the Friday the 13th films with CJ Oakland. He's been on the show numerous times. You've been on. You guys,
we've done shows with him before.
Yeah. And I think it was last weekend we stopped at Jason Takes Manhattan, and it seems like the production value, it gets higher and the level of acting ability gets lower. So it's kind of a paradox, but
which is kind of funny because because Jason Takes Manhattan, at least two or three of the actors in that movie actually had careers beyond Friday the 13th. Whereas prior to that, the only actors who seem to have broken out from Friday the 13th were Kevin Bacon, Corey Feldman, and Crispin Glover.
Yeah, that's accurate. And Tony Goldwyn.
Right.
He's still going.
And Miguel Nunez Jr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very random mix of good actors spread throughout all 8 movies. It's kind of weird, but speaking of bad movies, let's go to our first movie review. Get it out of the way because this movie was just trash. I'm sorry. I had very high hopes, and yeah. It's called A Clear Shot, and it is actually a true story of the largest hostage siege negotiation ever attempted in the United States. And it stars Mario Van Peebles as a very, kind of a standard, hardened detective, hostage negotiator who comes in to try to, relieve the situation and rescue everybody inside this electronics store. And it's violent. It's horribly acted. It's got a decent story. Yeah. Oh my God. I know of Mario Van Peebles. I'm not a huge fan. I've never really delved into his filmography.
I've only seen 2 of his movies.
Yeah. I was intrigued. So that's why I picked this one. And, it's very formulaic. It's got all the movie tropes of this kind of hostage situation. And, I don't know. Forrest, what did you think of this one?
Okay, so when you recommended this title, when you said it was Mario Van Peebles, I was like, wow, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Because I've only seen out of all his movies, I've only seen Jaws 4 and or Jaws: The Revenge, and New Jack City. So at least Van Peebles definitely kept at least got that kept me intrigued. But then when I watched it, I think it was nothing special as far as movies, as far as hostage negotiation movies are concerned. I mean, we've seen this before with Dog Day Afternoon, Inside Man, The Negotiator.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing special.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's kind of like it came out in the shadow of those really solid hostage films, and it tries so hard to mimic that tone that it just falls flat.
Another issue I had with it is this it's supposed to be set in 1991.
Yeah.
But we at the beginning we see a woman shopping for Blu-ray players, and her boyfriend is shoplifting DVDs. So yeah. And they're using cell phones that don't look like bricks. So they really got their continuity.
Oh man, yeah, that's a big faux pas. That Forrest, I applaud you on catching that. I did not catch. That's crazy.
They really didn't even try to they're like, oh, cell phones were big. That's good enough. Like, no one watching this movie will remember any of this junk.
Yeah.
The acting, holy crap. I felt like every person on set was an extra who was like, I'm gonna say a line. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say a line. This will be my breakout. That's what it felt like. It felt like none of the dialogue was scripted. It was just like extras going out on a whim. It was like no, there were like no leads in the film. Like, I'd rather watch Body Cam again.
Oh wow!
Oh,
really?
Yes.
That's a bold statement, sir.
At least they were good. It was well acted. This didn't even have that.
True. That's true. And as far as Body Cam, you weren't on for that. No,
I was not.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad cop thriller with Mary J. Blige and Alex or Nat Wolf, one of the Wolf brothers. The story was atrocious, but the acting wasn't half bad. This movie, A Clear Shot, you can just tell that it's just a low budget through and through. Like everything about it feels cheap and unnecessary.
And straight to video.
Yeah, exactly. Well, everything's straight to digital nowadays, but
VOD.
This would be the equivalent of a straight to DVD.
I feel like the studio that released this, as well as the studio releasing Body Cam, were like, oh, thank God there's no movie theaters right now, and we can just pass this shit off the internet.
Well, it's the Saban, the makers of the Power Rangers, so they're so cheap is definitely I would say Saban, the studio that formerly made the Power Rangers, so cheap when it comes to.
I would rather this movie have been footage from a Japanese movie intercut with like 3 white kids. Like I would have much preferred that than what I just saw.
And I think Body Cam was by it was released by Paramount Studios, so Paramount Pictures. So slightly better level there. So what did you guys think of the star Mario Van Peebles? I mean, I remember him from Jaws: The Revenge. And he's a good-looking guy. He's got that kind of leading man quality about him. But in this, it just seemed like it was just a paycheck for him. He really
right. I mean, he got his start in his father's movies, and his father was like one of the pioneers of blaxploitation.
Right.
But and I think he still got it, but he seems kind of lost. He's kind of lost. He seems a little lost here.
Yeah, and the awkward budding romance between him and the officer. What the heck?
Yeah, it was like
that was a little.
That didn't go anywhere.
Unnecessary. Yeah, it really didn't. It was just kind of let's flirt with each other on camera and it not go anywhere.
We got to have at least something. We got to have at least some sort of romantic subplot to get the women in.
Yeah, let's just try to throw as much as we can into this terrible movie.
And what about those hostages? My God.
Wait, I think the hostage could have fooled me.
Yeah. I think the actors the actors who played the hostages in Paul Blart Mall Cop were like Oscar contenders instead of this.
There's no I want couldn't there could have at least surely been someone like Ellis from Die Hard, like Bobby. I mean, white, nobody like
and
that.
you're white knight. I know they didn't really there was a lot of missed opportunities there for character development. But instead we just got a pregnant woman and an overweight Latino man and an aging he was like a Vietnam vet, right, or something. And
I think so.
Yeah.
Like they're like it's an old black guy that they keep saying is old, even though I'm pretty sure that guy's in his 40s. Like
he didn't seem that.
He didn't seem that old. They were like, "Hey, old man," and I'm like, "Really? Like, that's ageist and weird." And then there was like that white trash lady. Who was she with the pregnant one? I don't know.
Yeah. They kind of became
There's so many relationships I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah. No, this is just a terrible movie, and you should avoid it at all costs. Even if you're a Mario Van Peebles completist, I'd say maybe stay away.
If you are.
And I would say, Mario Van Peebles completists are well, at least in my experience, are kind of unicorns.
Yeah, it's
Mario Van Peebles completist. Just wait for the Snyder cut. Wait for the Snyder cut of this movie. It's gonna be on HBO Max.
And you know what, Matt? This kind of feels like a movie that you would kind of show at.
Oh my God!
At the cafe, no?
It's so bad.
Honestly, if you ever do a series on hostage movies, I guess that you could probably include this.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
This is just bottom of the barrel, but.
I mean, we just did 1991 Stone Cold last night, and that movie's like a great train wreck, but like, it's enjoyable. This is just not. There was nothing enjoyable about this movie.
Right. And side note to the film you showed last night, was the star a wrestler?
He was a football player.
Oh, football!
Really?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes,
cool.
yes.
I'm intrigued about it. I'm going to catch it at some point.
And Lance Henriksen as the bad guy in a mullet, fantastic.
Oh.
That was 91, you said, right?
91, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love him. Lance Henriksen is great.
Oh, he's
I
fantastic.
sometimes mistake him for Stephen McHattie.
Mm.
Kind of similar look. But yeah.
Can't say I've ever mistaken the two.
No.
Okay. Yeah,
I be down with Lance.
If anything, I mistake Steve McCanny for Ron Perlman.
I don't see that. Okay. They do have these very like harsh features, and they usually like villainous type characters. But yeah. Oh, and I want to go back to the pandemic picks. I actually just finished. I'm finally up to date with Better Call Saul. And
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I still
my
have not
God.
seen. I still haven't seen that or Breaking Bad.
That
Yeah.
last season, whew, so good.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna start up Breaking Bad again. This would be my third viewing.
Yeah,
Because
I figure once this series is done next year, I'll revisit Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Kind of pick up where it leaves off.
Yeah,
When's
right now.
When's the next season coming out of Saul?
Well, it's probably going to be a while now
Oh, that's true. That's true.
because I don't think they even started filming it yet. So
I see.
I've been as far as other pandemic picks, I've been watching because I got upgraded to HBO Max this past recent. I got upgraded to HBO Max, so I've been watching Love Life with Anna Kendrick.
nice.
Okay. Cool. She's funny. She's good.
Yep, I'll admit I started watching because I love Anna Kendrick. I think she's I think she's cute.
Yeah.
She is cute. Yes. I loved her, and was that her actually singing in the Pitch Perfect films?
Yeah.
That was her. Yeah, she's good. Good singer. All right. So I think it's pretty unanimous with the clear shot. I think we say skip it, right?
Skip it.
It's a clear shot to skip.
Clearly not. Yeah.
Don't get this confused with Bloodshot.
No, which I also heard was awful.
I'm sure it was.
I didn't see it.
Comics, but
I mean, I'm not a huge Vin Diesel fan, but I'll check it out.
I only like him when he's a voice. If he's a giant robot or a tree, that's it.
Oh yeah.
That's as far as I go for Vin Diesel.
Or if he's promoting Street Sharks.
The 90s cartoon?
Well, if you go on YouTube, there's an old video. There's a video of him back when Street Sharks first hit the market. He was doing a demonstration. He was like giving them a demonstrate. He was like back when Vin Diesel was unknown. He was doing this promo for Street Sharks. Like he was like demonstrating how they work and all that. And what?
Really?
Yeah. If you want, if you want, I will send you the link.
That is a serious YouTube search, I must say. I need to see that like right after this show. All right, guys. So I think this is a good place for a short commercial break, but we'll be back with more movie reviews, well, TV reviews actually, right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
This is Under the Radar, and our second review of the day is so much different from the first movie we saw.
But just as bad.
Well, it's got some redeeming qualities and not so redeeming qualities. And I'm talking about the new Netflix series Space Force, which stars Steve Carell as the first general in charge of the new branch of the United States Armed Service. which basically focuses on protecting satellites. I think that's like their main function. But in an episode later into the season, there is a plot about using wrenches on the moon. I was excited for this. Greg Daniels, he's responsible for The Office, which ran for a very successful run from 2005 to early 2013, I think. And I was excited about Space Force. I thought it was kind of promoted in a way like The Office in space, and that's what I was expecting. I was really kind of like that world. But I was kind of let down because we just have a big budget here. We've got a lot of great actors, a lot of great comedic actors, and John Malkovich, I think, might be one of the few redeeming qualities of this series. And
Fred Willard, one of his last roles.
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed, but there are some good moments here, and I think it's not a total loss. And I think if you want to binge something or just watch something on Netflix, I say give it a shot. Forrest, what did you think of Space Force?
Okay, I don't even know how I made it as far. Okay, so I only watched the first 7 episodes, but I don't even know how I even made it that far.
Yeah.
It's just not. It just a lot of times I just found myself tuning out, like mentally, and the humor, and none of the jokes really landed for me.
No,
which is really disappointing. Given the level, as you said, given the level of talent, and also, but then even as far as trying to be satire, I think it fails at that. It's trying to be. It's so on the nose that it's not going to hold. I feel like if you're watching this, if anybody's watching this a decade from now, it's not going to hold. It's not going to hold up.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's lazy writing, really, and I think they should have invested more money in really good script writers, as opposed to just throwing all these big names in and visual effects.
Like there was a stand-in for Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez who was like too. It was like could they have been any more? Could they have been any more obvious?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like the whole thing was it's supposed to be obvious. It's supposed to be obvious that was Nancy Pelosi. It's supposed to be obvious it's Cortez. Like, it's just another like big fuck you to Trump and his administration, which I can never.
It just feels very lazy. They do it. It's very lazy.
There's a lot about it that's lazy. I did enjoy it. I would say I'd give it maybe a 7 out of 10. I mean, Malkovich kills it.
He's the best thing about it. He really is. He brings so much to the role, and I just want to. Maybe if they focused more on him rather than Carell, it would have been.
I think so. I mean, he was the best part. I mean, also he was the best for me. He was the best part of Con Air.
Malkovich is the best part of a lot of things.
True.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I think a lot of it's a weird show. I think there's like the writing is very inconsistent because there's a lot of great subtle humor in it, but then there's a lot of like in your face humor. Like they don't use the same kind of humor through the show. Like episode 2, like with the monkey.
Oh God. I almost stopped watching after that. That was the episode that I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done with this. But I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to review it. I want to see where it's going to go. But yeah, that monkey scene was just painful. It was like some of the worst TV I've ever seen in my life.
It was like it was so different from the rest of the writing. But it's just like it's very uneven. I feel like a lot of the characters' storylines don't really go anywhere.
There's a lot of romantic stuff that doesn't really,
nothing goes anywhere. The subplot with the teenage daughter doesn't really.
With the soldier and the.
I think it's Carell's daughter.
Yeah, Carell's daughter and that soldier from Alabama, that like romantic thing. I don't know. It was just like, I don't know. It's frustrating.
I gotta say, towards the end of the show, when they get the regular people in space, was a bunch. Oh my God, I'm blanking. Chris Gethard and Aparna Nanchala. I thought they were great as like these like real like people like just and when they're like, oh, there's like guns on this place, but like no actual tools. Like it seems like something that probably would happen or will happen when this whole Space Force thing actually does happen. Yeah, I mean it's a little all over the place, but I got some laughs out of it.
Yeah, I don't even remember at what points I did laugh, but I'm pretty sure I chuckled here and there.
I did not laugh once.
Yeah, it's sprinkled throughout the whole season, but yeah, it's not that impactful. It doesn't like leave a lasting memory, unfortunately.
And also, and actually, I think it was the first episode. Steve Carell starts dancing to Kokomo, and I started, and that was like one big groan moment for me.
Cringeworthy, yeah. That was in the trailer actually, and that's how they sold it. I don't.
So Steve Carell dancing to an awful '80s tune from an awful Tom Cruise movie.
I like that song. That's Beach Boys.
Don't call it the Beach Boys. They didn't invite Brian Wilson to the sessions.
Right.
They can eat a bag of dicks.
You know what the big
Mike Love's Beach Boys? Fuck my glove.
The biggest letdown though would probably have to be Patrick Warburton in this, because I love him. I've loved him since Seinfeld.
So underused.
Yeah. He was in it for like 3 seconds, and
he showed up like 3 episodes later. I'm like, all right, and then nothing.
I know. Oh, and guys, I think this is the last television show that Fred Willard appeared in.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he was
good. It's just like kind of a weird, just like another like weird like one-off. Like, oh, it's his dad who's constantly disappearing. Like,
yeah.
I guess I hadn't seen Fred Willard in a while. I didn't realize how old he was looking.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too.
I was like, oh shit, he's frail. So
yeah, and I don't know if that shaking was real or not. Like his hand was shaking.
I have a feeling it was.
Probably.
Yeah. You know what though? He went out swinging. Like he went out. He came in as a comedian. He left as a comedian. So I applaud him for that. He was. Yeah, just a great presence. So, oh God, Space Force though, it is so frustrating. You know, I want to like it. I was so excited for it, but yeah. Are you guys Office fans at all? Forrest, were you a big Office person?
I never was really. I mean, I've watched like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, a few episodes here and there. Usually either at a friend's house or it's always either been like at a friend's house or like my cousin's future stepson. Like he watches it, but I've never got into it myself.
Okay. Yeah, the earlier seasons are so much better. It kind of went down in quality, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I do like the actors from the show, though. I like them and everything else they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I was a huge fan of the British series when that came out.
Okay.
And I was like dreading. I was like, oh no, an American remake. And then like that first season, I was like, oh, they just did the British one, and they did like it was still funny. And then it became its own show in season 2.
Right.
And it was good for about 5 seasons. And then they focused too much on Pam and Jim.
And then Carell left.
They forgot the show was about The Office and called The Office. And it became like the Jim and Pam thing. And every episode was painful. Every episode was like, what's the new cool trend on social media? Oh, it's singing and dancing at a wedding! And like parkour! Every episode became bullshit trends. Yeah. And I stopped watching it.
With Jim and Pam.
And I think that's around the time that Will Ferrell showed up. And that's when I pretty much lost interest. Because I've never been aside from Anchorman and maybe Zoolander, I've never been a huge Ferrell fan. But Yeah, The Office. I think it went on a little too long. I think if it ended maybe
Yeah,
2 or 3
seasons
seasons.
too long.
Yeah, if
Was
they
it
shaved
9?
off like 2-3 seasons, I think they'd be fine.
It should have like ended before they got married. It's like, all right.
Probably should have ended with Mike. Probably should have ended with. I'm guessing from what I get, it should have ended before with Carell. Ended with Carell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they was only
that's
on
what I got it from people I know who are fans of the show.
Yeah, it was only a season without him, but that was already like 2 seasons too long. Because I mean, they even went through like him leaving his job, or like, although I gotta say, the Michael Scott Paper Company is probably my favorite story arc in the show.
the cheese puffs.
Yeah, it's like so stupid. They rent like the closet to like start their office in the closet of Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah, that was good stuff. That was a good storyline.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that they didn't go with Dwight Schrute's The Farm. Weren't they going to do that like spin-off series?
I had no idea.
Yeah, they were very close, but they got like a terrible like early reaction, so they didn't even film or do anything with it. But it was just called The Farm.
Probably why they just did Parks and Recreation instead.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, mixed feelings with Space Force, guys. Matt, what do you think people should spend the time to maybe not binge it, but check it out?
I feel like if you're a fan of that kind of humor and of those actors, it's worth checking out. I mean, I watched the whole thing in one sitting. I binged it the Friday it came out. I watched the whole thing. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great, but I enjoyed it.
Okay. Forrest, would you recommend this to anybody?
Absolutely not. Or at least I'd say skip it entirely. It's just not. I did not find it. None of the jokes landed for me at all, and it was just a waste of a good cast, I think. And if you're gonna watch a satire about military and space, Starship Troopers is also on Netflix right now, and that was more worth my time.
That is the true Space Force. That and the Colonial Marines and Aliens.
Galaxy Quest.
That too. Yes. Just watch Galaxy Quest all the time. That's just the movie to watch. All right, guys. So yeah, Space Force. I would say see it, check it out. If if you want to see The Office in space, don't see it. But if you're just mildly curious and want to chuckle here and there, I would check that out.
I would say Carell diehards only.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. All right, so I think we should segue into something, Forrest, you actually brought to my attention today. Marks the 35th anniversary of one of the greatest adventure comedies of all time, in my opinion, definitely from the 80s, The Goonies. Now, it's a story by Steven Spielberg. It's a wonderful story about a group of kids. They're kind of outsiders, and one of them, their house is getting foreclosed on. They're losing their house, so they want to go for buried treasure. They go on an adventure to find the buried treasure, to save their house, and they learn about themselves along the way. It's a huge adventure. They meet some villainous characters, some friendly characters, and yeah, this movie is just, I haven't seen it in a few years, but I just remember really loving it growing up. And it's one of those Spielberg 80s movies that just, it has a special place in my heart. I'm assuming it does for you guys too. So Forrest, The Goonies, what is the impact it's had on your life?
Oh, the impact it's had on my life? I mean, oh God, it's okay. So it's one that I definitely watch at least one. I have to watch at least once a year. And I guess I guess we're watching this along with some other kids movies from that time. As there's besides the set, you've got that Spielbergian sense of wonder and adventure. as well as things that kids that would never fly in kids movies today, like cursing and penises falling off of statues and
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
or humor about locking housekeepers up for in torture chambers. But it's just like, it would always give you that. But yeah, it's that sense of, it's definitely that sense of adventure that always resonated with me. Like, or especially when you're, because you grow, like, for example, living, growing up somewhere where the weather sucks 9 months out of the year, so you can't even go outside.
Yeah. What was it? It was somewhere in Oregon, some suburb.
Astoria,
Oregon. I grew up in upstate New York, where you couldn't go outside because the weather always sucked.
Nice. And Matt, you've played it at the cafe a few times.
yeah, it's one of the few that we've done twice.
Nice.
It's a classic. I mean, I saw it when it came out in the movie theater in Islandia, in that Islandia shopping center. Story I always have to tell. We were out to dinner next door at Cookie's Steakhouse. My family, me, my parents, my brother, and my brother takes forever to eat, and we missed the first basically the jailbreak scene in the very beginning.
Oh,
we missed that whole thing because we were waiting for my brother to finish eating, and he hates that I bring this up when we show at a Cold Cafe. I mention it every time. And it was, this was in 1985, so I didn't even see that first part, until like 86 or whatever when it came out on video. But it was like one of those things where it was a part of a movie that's like one of my favorite movies of all time, and I missed it because of him, and I will never let it go.
If it makes you feel any better, the first time I watched it, I missed the jailbreak scene too.
Oh wow!
And because I didn't but then again, I wasn't even born when it came out. I was born in '87. Right. So I ended up catching it on, and I just caught it on TV because I guess my mom had seen it in theaters with my cousin because he was old enough to have seen it, and then so one day we're channel surfing and it's on. My mom stopped on it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you'll enjoy this movie."
And that opening scene has some of the best music of any movie.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
That's right.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dave
dun.
Grusin, he scored that movie. And,
I mean, it's part of the G trilogy from 84 to 85. That are like my 3 favorite movies of all time.
Goonies, Gremlins, Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Gremlins, Ghostbusters, Goonies. Yeah, and the holy trilogy.
And as I was just thinking, at least two of them were produced by Spielberg and written by Chris Columbus.
Yep.
Right.
And had Corey Feldman in a supporting role.
Yep.
Right. And Ghostbusters did not share any of those details.
Granted, Ghostbusters was the only one that did have a Universal Studios attraction.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. So that kind of glues it all together. Cool. But yeah, the Goonies, you can't not like the Goonies, and
unless you don't, because apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, so that's one thing I've noticed is that anybody around our age who didn't see the Goonies until they were adult did not like it. Like my best friend my best friend since preschool, he didn't see either the Goonies or Back to the Future until he was an adult, and he didn't like either of them. But at the same time, he's
like this. How could you not like that? Come on, that's a classic.
I know. No, this is a pattern I've noticed with movies that were popular with kids in the 80s and 90s. If you were of age to see those movies but didn't see them until you were an adult, you don't like the Goonies, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Home Alone, and Hook. Those are the 5 movies that I noticed that you see. It seems like you have to have been a kid to have enjoyed them.
I mean, it makes sense because there's a lot of like 90s films that I was like a little too old for that like people always like love, and I just like I finally I saw Holes recently,
Holes?
Okay.
Yeah, Holes.
That was 2003.
Oh, all right. But yeah, I saw it. Everyone always raves about it, and I was like, it was okay.
I read the book. Yeah, with that one I read the book, but I didn't see the movie
Sandlot?
until I was older.
Sandlot's okay. I don't know.
It's a bit
Oh, I love
overrated.
Sandlot.
I'll give you that.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, Goonies is a fucking masterpiece. I just don't understand how anyone cannot like it. I feel like it speaks to everyone on every level, but I guess I'm wrong.
It's like the classic underdog story, and the tale of friendship and teamwork and adventure.
It's like one part Indiana Jones, one part I guess since they do reference it in the movie, the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Lost Boys from Hook, kind of, but in modern times? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and guys, I forgot to mention that A Clear Shot is actually, you can see that on digital and DVD if you feel so inclined. If you want to subject yourself to some torture.
It's a trap.
Yeah, there's that. And also to back to Space Force, that's currently on Netflix. So there you go. And all right, so what do we got? I really want to see the Goonies right now. I need to rewatch.
That's what I was thinking the same thing.
It's probably streaming somewhere.
Okay, I guess maybe we should also bring up maybe because there's been talk of they've been talking about doing a Goonies doing a second Goonies for years.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know. I think it's never gonna. I think honestly, I honestly think it's never gonna happen.
I feel like if it was going to, that time has passed.
Yeah, if they
yeah. I think if Richard Donner was to helm, maybe
it'll just be a movie where it's like all of them, and then oh no, their houses are being foreclosed, and then their kids go and save it. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a rehash, like every.
It's gonna be another one of those Next Generation movies.
Yeah, every one of those that they do. I'm sure what the new Ghostbusters movie is like that will
Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Same thing.
To be honest, I do like Cobra Kai.
I haven't seen it yet.
I can't think of a movie where they passed the baton, like a Next Generation type movie, that actually worked. Like all of those seem like it's just the same premise that they're kind of recycling, and it doesn't work.
Like the new Star Wars movies.
Exactly.
Yeah. I could take it or leave it, really. But yeah, guys, the Goonies classic 35th anniversary today. So rewatch it. Revisit the magic. That's movie magic right there. And okay, guys, so it's time for plugs. I think good time for plugs. Why not? Far as anything going on that you can talk about, any projects you're working on or stuff going on?
I mean, I've been writing down ideas.
Okay.
But right now everything, but because of the pandemic, everything I was hoping to start filming a short film about a couple months ago, but that got put on hold because of the pandemic.
Right.
But otherwise, I'm just trying to get, and I'm I just been jotting down ideas. That's all really been up to, and looking for. But although with now that New York is finally in the phases of reopening, I'm hoping to return home this week.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That is top priority for sure. And I'd love to see your film, like your future film. Good luck with that. Is there anything? Can you divulge any details, any information?
I think I might have actually mentioned it on the show a couple times. At least one of those times I did a plug to find an act. I did make a drop a plug for
yes.
For an actor, yes.
I remember the casting call for. That's cool. Well, tell everybody again. What are some of the stories you're thinking of filming?
All right. All right. Well, one of the ideas is called. One of the ideas I had involved Okay, so this was actually inspired by the old real Ghostbusters toilet toy.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I do. Yep. Wasn't that kind of like the toilet creature from Look Who's Talking 2?
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to pee. Mel Brooks did the voice.
Yep, exactly. That's what I remember.
Fed piss. Oh boy, it's like golden shower humor in a kids movie. What?
Yeah, it's a little odd. Freaked the hell out of me, but yeah. But anyway, the Ghostbusters toilet monster. The basis? What's the story?
It was partial. That was part of my inspiration. Also, the 1987 movie Street Trash. It's basically about basically involves this couple who buy a home that had been previously occupied by some death cult, and now their toilet one of the toilets in their house is cursed because was cursed by this cult because they committed suicide. They committed mass suicide.
Is the title seconds?
It's called Don't Flush the Toilet.
Okay.
Because basically, whoever uses this toilet and flushes gets swallowed.
Gotcha. It's coming back to me now, Forrest. Yeah, the toilet horror movie. I like it. It has a trauma.
I watch anything with toilets in it. I love toilet humor.
Yeah, a lot of what I write is literally bathroom humor. Literally.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing that at some point. Matt, how's the cafe? I didn't attend last night. I feel bad about it. But what do you have on deck for this week?
This week we are doing the Town the Dreaded Sundown.
Yes.
1974 serial killer thriller, which of course inspired the look of Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2.
The burlap sack.
The baghead.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yes,
Cool.
the Phantom from this movie. Yeah. Also, I guess is based on a true story as well.
Cool.
Right. It's one of those intense 70s, before slashers were really a thing, and
right. All right. Should be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, and I should just mention that today it's called the We Are One Global Film Festival, and it ends today. It was on for about a week or so, but you can still catch some of their programming online, including shorts and features, plus the very timely documentary Cop Watch, which deals with some issues that are relevant today. So you can catch a special event tomorrow, followed by a can't-miss musical moment from Grammy-winning Questlove. So just go to weareoneglobalfestival.com and you can see all the information there. Check that out. Also, friend of the show, John Bartnick, he has a GoFundMe page to raise funds to 3D print PPE equipment, mostly masks, to essential workers. The goal is $1,500, and he is currently at $360. So just do your part if you want. You can email him at nerdasutrahelps@yahoo.com, and that's NERDASUTRA helps@yahoo.com. And also, lastly, our wonderful sponsor, Magnitude Jewelry, is having promotion. With orders over $75, Magnitude offers free shipping, an N95 mask, and hand sanitizer. So just go to tudegirl.com, that's TUDE girl.com, and check out that very special offer. And yeah, I think that's about it for today, guys. I want to thank you so much for today. This was a great show as always. And you're always welcome anytime. And I just want to wish you all to just be very safe, healthy to you and your families. And again, thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us on.
All right, guys. I'll see you next time. I'm Randy Unger. This has been Unger the Radar. See you next time, guys.